while suicide,
poverty,
domestic violence,
and other dysfunctions seek to destroy and separate, we choose to tangata,
to stand tall.
stand together.
regardless of our backgrounds or belief system.
We as the people of New Zealand,
choose to stand for our people.
to bring hope.
To bring the solution,
We say you are valued, you are loved.
you matter.
We stand because we care.
Kia ora te whānau. Welcome to Open Up Bro. This is Kane Warren here. Glad to have you on board tonight and sit back and relax. You're in for a very powerful session tonight with us. We've been on a bit of a journey and opening up topics around men and families, dealing with addictions and dealing with cycles of dysfunctions. And one tonight that is very fresh, obviously, in media, and we've seen it affect our families a lot. And this subject or topic tonight is called An Angry Generation. I'd just like to share a little story myself personally. Last week I saw a picture of, as the media says, and they're very shallow, aren't they, New Zealand media? They said that here is a young criminal that's on the run. I saw the photo and I knew the young man. And my experience with this young man as one of the social workers here in South Auckland brought him to our fitness centre to engage him with fitness, obviously self-confidence and building his self-esteem and disciplines. The experience with us was very short term. My point is here is that this young man didn't grow up one day thinking, you know what, when I'm a kid, I'm going to grow up one day and I'm going to hurt some people. I'm going to be a foul criminal. No, he didn't. I know a little bit about this young man, and I know for a fact that he didn't have a father in his life. His whole life was about being passed around government agencies that really have failed this young man and probably failed a lot of young men and families in New Zealand. Tonight there's a lot of hope that we're going to be talking about, whānau, so please stay tuned. If you have questions for us as a panel tonight, engage us. Write your questions down and we'll be happy to answer those questions and we will overcome these situations together. I think the other thing is that we've been working on Man Up for the past 3 years. We have seen the transformation and change that has happened with men's lives. The dysfunction, the depression and all the things that come with a childhood that's gone badly wrong. A family unit that has broken down, a runaway father potentially left the situation, and these kids' heart cries now have been revealed in a manifestation of them doing some of these crimes. We're going to talk about this tonight. You need to stay tuned with us. We're very passionate about this message. We're very passionate about seeing the transformation and change happen for our people here in Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Yeah.
So before I go any further, we're going to show you an AV. You may have already seen this AV on social media. By no means are we showing this AV to glamorize or glorify that situation, but to expose it. And so I do warn you that there is some graphic content attached to this AV, but it's time to snap out of it, wake up, and see what's really going on in our backyard. Check this out. Welcome back, everybody. Open Up Bro, as you've seen with the AV just being played. It's on social media. That was in Pak'nSave in Mangere yesterday. And so we're going to open up our discussion now about this, An Angry Generation. So I just want to welcome my panel here tonight. Kia ora Kaiui, kia ora Toko.
Kia ora.
Welcome on the Open Up Bro. It's great to have you on board, and I know you're going to help the discussion, but also help our whānau out there understand not only the anger and violence, but what's behind it. Now, Kaiui, I understand you were out there even today, posting up a video outside Pak'nSave about the situation. What's this all about?
Well, I guess for myself, this program, Open Up Bro, is backing from Man Up, and myself being the general of Man Up Mangere, there was a responsibility for myself. We're standing up for men and families in our community, and this issue here that took place via the AV was knocking on my door. So what did I have to do was actually hold not only our community accountable, but this is only an outpouring of something that's happening in the back doors. Prior to this taking place, surely there was some behavioural teachings in the home. There was some character building in the home. There was a lot of, or should have been, some counselling from our fathers in regards to that's not a sensible act to be doing in the community. So for me, it was just holding our community accountable, especially our homes, that's only a manifestation of what's taking place in our homes. So that's only a little piece of so much that's happening in our communities. The YouTube fights that are quite explicit out there, the Facebook posters around street fights, it's normal, but it's not.
You bring up the home.
Yeah.
I mean, Tuko, when was the first time you experienced anger and violence?
Yeah, about 8 years old, I felt the cord. It started on the hand, and then it graduated to the head and to the back, and different types of weapons were used. A hammer was used on my head, and got validated with a 4x2. So yeah, it was pretty horrific for a child so young, And but that was the norms back in those days. It was like some sort of definitely my dad had some deep issues happening in his life, and he was taking that on me and my sons, or else he wanted us to be like him and be hard and conditioning us, because he'd never done it to the ladies, he only done it to us. So.
Right. So to our viewers, what Tuko says in the way that he was disciplined or conditioned, as he says, to some of us that could be a shock, and to some of us that could be quite normal.
Normal, yeah.
So, Kaiwi and Tuko, when we're disciplining our children, I mean, for you, Tuko, was your father communicating with you verbally why you were being disciplined, or?
Yeah, no, nothing like that. It
Just
was
outbursts
straight,
of...
Just the outbursts, like he was letting something off his own shoulders. And, even if it was leaving some porridge left over from the morning, he'll come up and in a rage and say, "Hey, look, I'm working for this," and then bang, the punches to the head will start coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, Kaiwi, that incident in Pakensay, that, as I say, that's the tip of the iceberg. Eh? We got youth violence. We got adult violence. Yeah. I guess we got grandpa violence. There's just violence, and it seems to be getting worse.
Yeah, well, violence is anger, and like Tuko was saying, I think for like Tuko's dad and my old man, he's a lovely man, but he just didn't know how to, display his anger or where to go to calm down. It was just, the closest thing to him was just a reaction. We became punching bags, but yes. I guess it was that generation. And today it's just an example of that generation not knowing, and we've just become a byproduct of that, in society today.
Yes.
So when we talk about that conditioning, and we're in home, and we're getting that type of violence and that anger pushed into us. I mean, it's like a transfer race. Somebody has to get it next.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if he's giving it to you, who are you going to give it to next? I mean...
Yeah, at school, was a rebel at school. I was taking it to the school, taking it to people at school, standing over people, taking their lunches, and beating up on people at school and that. So that's where we were unloading our frustration out. It was in the schools, and then eventually, as time went on, and out on the street to other people. Just what's happened at Pakensay there. They just sort of there's been a few gang confrontations like that in the public, where no one just didn't care who was around. They just attacked.
Do you think that's a challenge we've got in society, that we're so immune to seeing dysfunctions now?
Yeah.
People die, people are killing each other. Violence like you saw in Pakensay, and you can almost just, because of social media, you see it all the time. You just think, well, what the heck? It's just another one, another one.
well, you see in the video there in particular, you know, you got parents with their kids just standing there. Usually in a normal, well, you'd say in a rosy world, kids will be running because they're fearful of it. But they're actually getting closer to the actual scene because it's normal. Maybe because in their home it's the same thing. So why would they run for something that they're immune to, eh? So where's society gone to now, eh? It's wicked.
Well, I just want to jump to something. You know, the government, and we've got a new government, by the way, and I don't think anything's really going to change. Do you? No, it's just a change of hats and a change of faces. But end of the day, we don't dictate our lives by politicians. We dictate our lives by the decisions that we make. So you know, they're going to build more prisons.
Yeah.
It's because I was going to have a go at. They don't have an answer to be able to fix and heal an angry generation. You know,
No.
gang numbers are growing.
Yeah.
Drug use is on the rise. Domestic violence is on the rise.
So what you're saying, What you're saying is why would I join the game? Because there was no, I guess, loving or belonging in my own home. So, like you said, Morocco, our brother, Quaid, that's on the run. You know, he's angry because dad wasn't there, mum wasn't there. So why would I listen to the police trying to tell me what to do? Why would I listen to youth workers? Because my father wasn't there to tell me right from wrong. So why would I listen to who the hell are you? For example, Well,
fathers are the make or break of families, right? Fathers are the, if they raise their sons to understand values, understand respect of self and respect of others, that's where it starts. I mean, constructively, if we're not doing those things, dads, and just leaving it to the school teacher or leaving it to the social worker, then we've failed. We fail as dads. That if we're not raising our children intentionally, and it's not easy, come on, it's not easy.
No,
but it's got to be done. It goes with the responsibility of being a
father.
a tane, a male.
Yes.
We're different to females. We're men. We're designed to raise children. It's time to get back to our responsibilities. Wouldn't you agree?
That's right.
Definitely. There's a lot of substances involved. Alcohol that's taking the men off their vision. Marijuana, P now, epidemic. They've just lost all morals and values to give out to their children. And hence the reason why Pack and Save's like that, fights like that in Pack and Save are happening. I mean, I just saw there was a lot of men just looking. If I was there, I would have tried jumping in and try and stop it.
Yeah, that's a good question because, you know, you think about getting involved in a hostile situation where there could be knives, guns. I mean, the first thing you think of is bring peace, eh?
That's
right.
Peacemaker.
Diffuse it.
Diffuse it.
Yeah.
I've broken up a lot of fights at malls and stuff like that just by, you know, breaking these guys up and pulling them off each other, and it's risky.
Yeah. Definitely. And
Brings back a memory, Iwi.
Yep, the Fusey situation probably wasn't the best thing for me. But I'm going to jump back. Actually, you were saying something about where does the fathers, who does it pass down to? I can say for me, I was a very angry person, and yes, I never saw my dad hit my mum. But I understand when I came into Man Up, what walks in the father runs the children, because I ended up beating up on my missus, who is my wife now, and I was like, wow. I understood that in hindsight, but in the situation, you're so angry at anything and everything that I became jealous even of my own person. I think jealousy has a lot to play with anger.
Yes.
With angry people. Jealousy has a lot to play with, you know, just you being a man, because you don't have the security in you. Like you said, like Quaid doesn't know who he is. Our fathers, they don't know who they are. They don't even value themselves. Like why would they value someone else or even their
It's probably because of the, you know, one of the things I would say about that is the communication. We haven't been good communicators. Our fathers weren't the greatest communicators in explaining to us when something went wrong, when we did something wrong. So, okay, son, you've done something wrong. I'm going to discipline you.
Yes.
Discipline. Then coming back and affirming and saying, okay, son, this is why you were disciplined. A lot of men probably haven't had that type of parenting, you know, or that type of father that has been able to discipline and restore.
Yeah, definitely my father never had that. He just lashed out, and there was nothing like that. Why, when, who, you know, just hit first, and not even ask later what's happening and why I got it. So, you know, definitely everything starts at the home. And,
guys, we'll come back after this AV. What we're going to do is Q&AV. Brother King Free, that's his brand name. He's been out on the streets in South Auckland and getting the comments from our people out there. Check this out.
Awesome.
what are we supposed to do when that's all our kids know?
Too many young bucks watching Jake the Muss movies when they should be led in the right direction.
You know, it makes you feel unsafe in the street, walking to the shop. Makes you want to look over your shoulder.
And people just see, following, that's all they all doing, is just following the older homies, trying to be like the bigger homies. That doesn't get you nowhere and gets you locked up.
I do, individually, yes, but you're not to know who you're going to run into or what's going to happen every time you leave your house.
It's a bit unwarranted, to be honest. It's not necessary for people to resolve the way they do. In some circumstances, I would say I could react the same, but it's easy to say no, not to do it. It's not necessary. There's so many other ways you could resolve things.
Should be someone there to teach them the right way instead of the wrong way. I was led the wrong way. I was led to burglary, cars, all that shit.
Focus on our youth, and who cares about all us older ones, you know, it's over for us. Just focus on the young ones, because we've had our chance, and that's that. It's over. We blew it.
Oh.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, welcome back everybody. Here we are, last segment for this the show tonight. We've been talking about angry generation. That's right, that leads to violence, that leads to crime, that leads to thuggery, that leads to get involved in gangs and gang packing, gang fighting, all this sort of stuff. And a lot of us, our public perception of all that could be like bloomin' bastards. Actually, a comment that was made on one of the posts that I put up about a young man and just explaining his background, one of the comments said, "Oh, little bastards." Well, you're not wrong there. You know, when you refer to the word bastard, you're referring to illegitimate, and when you're illegitimate, you're talking about being born out of wedding or wedlock and commitment. We're talking about a behaviour of not being affirmed, as you say, by our fathers, particularly by our dads. And so, you know, it's a strong word, and I guess that person posting on Facebook was using it as a cuss word. But the actual meaning of this, I think, is probably one of the root problems that we're dealing with now in our country, is young men that have not been validated, have not been mentored, been raised by a father or a male figure in their life. How do we answer that, guys? How do we answer this issue?
Yeah, that's a toughie, because I think for us back in the 70s and 80s, that was validating, getting beat up and getting conditioned in that way. That was the way he knew how to validate. And once we were going through that, you know, enough was enough. Once my brother took off, I definitely followed him, because we weren't going to stay there and take some more of that. So once I took off from there, I pretty well hit the street, and eventually I joined the mob, and that was just another feasting ground for violence too. So where the gang was concerned anyway. So there was no end to it. I mean, from being a child to going to school and taking it to the school, and prison's just another way of feasting. You're going in there, and I've seen young fellas go in there pretty well beat up, and gangs are taking advantage of these young fellas, and before you know it, they're coming out with bulldogs on their face, and even angrier. So yeah, I can't see how the father for us now. The way I look back on it now, if I was getting validated properly, nurtured, and with all the morals and values, probably wouldn't be done as much prison as I would have done.
Yeah. Thank you, Toko. Kaiwi, you know, you're raising a family now.
Yeah.
You've got your daughters and your son, you know, and you've got this opportunity now to raise your children.
Yeah.
You know, it's never easy in a family these days, you know, financially and just dealing with life.
Yeah, yeah.
dealing with your wife, or she's dealing with
Happy
you.
wife, happy life.
Happy
Yes,
wife,
yes.
happy life. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, I think for me, it's you know, I was sick of that generation. I was sick of what was happening, and being an older brother of 5 or 6, 8 actually with the girls, I didn't want that, and I guess it might be maturity or whatever, but I didn't want that to pass down to my brothers. Communication was definitely a lack. But having my own little family now with my son, my wife is actually tutoring me along the way because, yes, I can turn good. I've still got a lot of learning to do and, you know, just a reaction to my son. It's not the bang, you know, it's you've actually got to stop and think that you got to talk. And I'm like, shucks, that's not normal. But that's what we're having to break through now. It's cultural too. We don't talk in our cultures. It's actually Fist does the talking.
Well, we had a situation that was close to our heart that happened this week.
Yeah.
One of the brothers in the Man Up got attacked in Otahuhu.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, cowards really, cowards.
Yeah.
Our brother was he's deaf.
Yeah.
He can't hear, and he was physically probably unable to defend himself against 3 or 4 little weasels.
Yeah.
But the thing is they ripped his shirt off. They had the Man Up T-shirt on and ripped it off, and you know, there's a lot of comments that could be made about that. You know, pray for them. You know, turn the other cheek, kill them. But you know, really, at the end of the day, we're in a better place than we've ever been. You know,
definitely.
when we're talking about anger, we've had to conquer that demon big time, eh?
Yeah, well, my natural reaction to that is, and it's been on plenty of occasions, my brother a couple of years ago got stabbed. My instinct is revenge. And I felt it. I was like, whoa, I'm ready to go. But you've got to have a brotherhood of support because my brother next to me goes, well, you've come this far. You can make this choice to go and get revenge or just wait it out, calm down. So I just had to take that advice from my brother. But we'll naturally, you know, we'll react like that situation this week, man. I've never said some of the words I've said in years, but I said about this because love. We protect our patch.
But what's the difference, eh? The difference really is like, you know, when they talk about anger management and managing that emotion, you know, anger to me is something that I think is a source of energy, it's a source of aggression. We need it, but it needs to be furnace like a fire, eh? You can't have a raging fire, you know, in terms of your character as an illustration, burning and singeing everybody that tries to get close to you because that's a bad anger. I guess the emotion we're talking about is that zeal that we use now for being great dads, to see our families do well.
That's right.
It's like a force, if you like. You know, someone said to me, oh, you today are a different man. But I said, I am a different man, but my energy is still the same, you know? So I've managed my anger. I've overcome and control that anger. I'm an ex-boxer by trade. So I know violence in the competitive sense, and I know violence like we've been talking about in the negative sense. So to me, it's about discipline. And I think if I've learned something from you know, we've had 2 different upbringings, you and I, Tuku. I've had a good dad that really raised us well, disciplined us well, and explained things as we were going along the journey. I don't say some of the disciplining was of my approval. It never is with the kids. But nevertheless, when I faced conflict, I was better equipped when I got older. Not to just lash out, not to just react the way my father used to react, but I could respect others a lot more. That moral basis, that value basis was strong. So we got, as much as we're talking about a lot of negatives, and I just want to put a shout out to the mums too, eh? The solo mums that are holding it down for families and raising your children on your own. It can't be an easy job. It cannot be... it must be very tough at times. We just want to put a shout out to you mums that are holding it down as solo parents. Kia kaha. What do we offer? I just want to finish on some real highs here. What can we offer as Man Up to actually help men, young men, older men, control their emotions and their anger?
Well, for our Men Up, that's hence the reason why we got Iron Men. That we can fall back on and say, hey, are we doing the right moves? Are we going the right? Are we using the right emotions? And the Iron Man is there for that sort of guidance. So that's good that whoever put that in place, that's awesome. that they put Iron Men there.
There's an accountability, eh?
It's accountability for me too, and I get into that mode too, and I fall back on my Iron Men that are there with me. So awesome advice from them helps me get back on course.
Iwi, you know, we talk about communication and man up. You know, they for the first time, probably for a long time, men are getting the opportunity to actually talk and open up about their feelings, their emotions, their childhood and upbringing, and that really is a success to getting a man, you know, whole and strengthened.
And I think with that too, you know, just bringing back a story, you know, like when I used to get angry and there was a point where I lost my family, I got put onto this It's Not Okay program. It was an anger management. It was seconded by the courts. I had to do this anger management. And I remember them telling me, if you get angry, you got to stop, breathe, and go for a walk. So
Can you show me the breathing technique? Oh, get out of there!
but you know, the voids were, you know, I went for a walk, but I had a sesh, but then, you know, it never really fixed anything.
What kind of sesh?
Yeah, those sessions, But with Man Up today, it actually allows you to face up to why did you get angry? Because you wouldn't just get angry and start manifesting, smash the house and wanting to smash your missus. There's a reason why. And I guess that's what Man Up offers, you know, environment whereby you can speak to your brother.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We're talking about opening up about men that have been sexually abused, psychologically abused, physically abused. I mean, these guys are getting the opportunity for the first time to open up.
That's right.
They've been told all their life to harden up, suppress, go to programs and get tickled. But in Man Up, we open up.
That's
for
right.
the first time, they're confessing these things as victims, as perpetrators of horrific things that have happened to them and happened to others. I mean, come on, New Zealand. Come on, government. Come on, Serco. Time to wake up. We got an answer that actually sets a man free. Sets a man free.
It works.
It works, right?
Yes, definitely.
Well, it's worked for you, Toko.
Worked
How
for
do
me.
you're an extremist. One day leading the mob, and even today, as fresh as today, you're down at the courthouse.
That's right.
Telling people they've got hope.
There's hope, yes. And what a powerful thing it is for me to be able to do that down the courthouse where I was once getting sentenced with big legs for violence. And, well, government, wake up. The new government, anyway, but, you know, wake up and smell the roses. It's happening. Man Up's where it's at. They have the formula. And Serco's trying to keep us out from doing them out of a job. So, yeah, we're here to help our people. And that's what it's all about.
Hearing many stories of men in our programs, you know, just, even if it's just 1 week, but just then coming back the following week and say, man, I applied what you said, you know, just take the responsibility that your wife was correcting you, because we don't want to take correction from our missus or anyone else. So just them listening was an achievement. So our men can come back and report, and there's some accountability there about being better the next time around. But Man Up has so much components that can help a man be a great, raising our amazing fathers, to prevent what took place at Pack and Save. That's
awesome.
us, eh?
That's us. That is us, guys.
And now that they can see that the men are opening up, they got another. There's another generation coming up now that they're going to learn all those techniques and get told, hey, look, you can't do that, you know, and not bang and using force in it. So there's got to be a new generation coming out of the Man Up.
I believe it, bro.
From all the fathers, because that is a major change, and that's where it's all happening there. Where all the nurturing is for our kids. So
The saying is true then, heal the man and heal the family.
Yes.
I just want to put it out there today. I know anger is a vicious enemy to a lot of families.
That's right.
Firstly to our males, our men, our fathers. Look, don't be whakama and shy about putting your hand up for some help. 0800 1 Man Up. We're here for you, brothers. We have been through these challenges. We know the dark side of anger and violence.
That's right.
And how it kills and destroys the confidence in our whānau. We don't want our children walking around in fear of us. We don't want our partners intimidated by us.
That's right.
We don't want to have to go out there in the communities and start lashing out on people. There's a solution.
Yes,
There's an answer, and we care for you.
That's right.
And I'm passionate about this message.
Yes.
I don't want to see any more violence.
No.
And if we can stop it and prevent it and set men on course to love their family, then we're going to do it. Without the government's funding, without permission to go to Serco,
Yes.
we don't need any permission or any funding. Listen, at the end of the day, it's just a man's decision. Tu tangata, stand up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Join a brotherhood that will support you through transformation.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and have an excuse about being angry because, oh, my dad was angry and I'm angry. We can overcome this. We can characterize our anger, get our emotions under control, and start living life with a lot more passion than we've ever had before. I'm excited. It's just I'm naturally excited. This ain't no pee or no drugs or any alcohol. I'm just passionate. We're passionate. Passionate fathers, passionate men about helping you. Ladies, if you're victims of domestic violence, if we can be of any help, message us. We'll reach out to your tāne. Give us his number. Give us his address. We'll go and cold knock on the door. We do it all the time.
Yep, that's right.
And most of the time we succeed. Because it's just breaking that pride barrier, eh, bros?
Yeah,
breaking that pride barrier. So tonight, this has been us tonight. We opened it up. We've talked about it, but we've also got the support through Man Up, Tu Tangata, in Auckland, throughout New Zealand, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, the whole world soon.
Yes.
We want to get the support out to our families and see families rise again to be great.
Yes.
And I didn't get that from Donald Trump either. That's my own.
For those men that know me from the prison and that, there's a way out, there's hope. For those ones that know me from the gang, there's hope for you. There's hope for you brothers. So you know what sort of walk of life I came from. There's hope. Yeah.
And just to our brothers in Pack and Save, they may have been part of that act. Hey, we're here for you. We run man-ups in Mangere. You're more than welcome to come. And I don't blame it, you know, what took place. And we don't condone the violence, but bro, we're just here to say, man, I'm here to help you, see you through whatever that took place, and invite your friends and brothers, holler at us on the page, or ring us 0800 1 Man Up. Cheers, Father.
Beautiful. On the outro tonight, on the 25th of the 11th, 2017, a most significant event called We Stand Because We Care. Man Up Tu Tangata is presenting a stand, and it's for our whānau, it's for Aotearoa. Domestic violence has been high, suicide, all these social ills. We care. This ain't no protest. It's a stand, a public stand, and inviting everybody to become a part of this. For more information, go to www.manup.org.nz for the We Stand, November the 25th, 2017. Well, brothers, it's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
Man up.
Yeah.
Tu
Tangata.
God bless.
While suicide,
Poverty,
Domestic violence.
and other dysfunctions seek to destroy and separate, we choose to tangata,
to stand tall.
stand together.
regardless of our backgrounds or belief system.
We as the people of New Zealand,
Choose to stand for our people.
to bring hope.
To bring the solution,
We say you are valued, you are loved.
you matter.
We stand because we care.